Hey everybody, sorry for not having a lot of videos up lately, but my computer just completely decided to die on me on the 24th, and then I got sick. So either my computer's not working or my body's not working, and as you can tell, I still need to make some adjustments to the computer. I still need to get it fixed. Everything should be back to normal next week, so sorry about that. Fuck 2016, man, just horrible, horrible. But yeah, so it was bad. But I apologize for it, and this is what you're getting this week. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This chapter came out very early. Like I said, I thought last week's chapter was supposed to be the last chapter of 2017. This was not supposed to come out this week. You can even tell from the cover page of Shonen Jump, it's intended for the new year because they're riding a rooster. It's the year of the rooster, and you have like a 20th anniversary cover spread there, color page. I'm not really sure why in the cover Oda didn't draw Robin, Brooke, and Frankie. And I also found it interesting the way that Nami's looking at Luffy in that front page. But whatever, we have this amazing color spread, which I think was actually spoiled in Jump Festa. This is not the first time I've seen it. With the sort of like aquatic creatures. We have Surume there from Fishman Island, the Kraken. And once again, Luffy and Nami are sitting together. So because this chapter came out early, we're probably not going to have a chapter the first week of January. Anyway, I forgot what the name of this chapter was, but it should have been called The Pudding Being a Straight Up Bitch. That's what it should have been called. There were people saying, I read some comments of people saying that they still thought Pudding was good after last week's chapter. I'm like, no, you do realize that this arc is ending in the beginning of the next year, right? There's not enough time. There's not enough narrative space for Pudding to be flip-flopping back and forth between being good and evil. At this point, she's just straight up garbage playing with Sanji's feelings, straight up, all right? And, she just mentions the fact to Reiju that, oh, you better not get your blood on the cake because that's going to piss Mama off and she's going to destroy the entire ceremony hall if that happens. I think that's going to happen regardless. It doesn't matter because you still have a bomb inside the Tamate Baku box. That's going to blow up. It's probably going to blow up the cake. She's going to get pissed off. The hall's going to get destroyed no matter what happens. So the plan is to kill all 6 Fin Smokes. Pudding has this revolver that holds these bullets that are candy jacketed. I'm pretty sure it could be that those bullets are embedded with armament hockey from Big Mom. I mean, it seems logical to assume that Big Mom would call her armament hockey candy jacketed or, because they're coated with something, right? And Sanji is just outside dying in the rain. It's just, throughout all of this, Sanji's just like, it's like he's crushed. He's completely zombified. He's detached. It's just a bad, bad situation for Sanji. I feel for him. It's really bad. Pudding even shoots a bullet through the freaking wall. And it's not until the last part of this chapter where we see him just completely leave the flowers behind. Notice that it's just the flowers and not the basket. Why? Because as I said in my last review, he's going to give that meal to Luffy. This was just so sad. I think it's actually the saddest chapter of this arc. At least for me, because at least I think what makes it even sadder is the fact that I think for the first time ever, Sanji actually thought that there was a girl, a female, that could reciprocate his feelings. And it was nothing but a fucking troll. It was a trap. It was a joke. It was a falsehood. And now it's like you literally have him standing outside hearing how Pudding is mocking him with those stupid, retarded faces. One of them is like an Enel face. And then you have that Jelly Nitro and Rabian just acting like just complete fucking Disney henchmen, just mocking the shit out of Sanji. And I think this chapter raises the question of, okay, who really is worse? All right, the Vin Smokes or Pudding? I think it's Pudding by far. Say what you want about the Vin Smokes, because they are abusive jerks, but at least with them, we knew what we were getting, all right? What Pudding is doing is straight up manipulation, just deceitful, just straight up bitch, grade A bitch behavior. I just really hate it when somebody takes advantage of somebody's good intentions, especially when they are so selfish, they can't even see how bad their actions are affecting that person with good intentions. That's just shitty. Now, we go to Big Mom and Brooke, and something has been going on. I'm not sure if Big Mom has been going ham on Brooke, but you can definitely see that, something has happened to Brooke because his skull is broken near his eye. So he's definitely not at full strength anymore. and you have Prometheus and Zeus. Zeus looks like a troll, but they're both active. and actually, Prometheus looks freaking beast. I mean, he looks really intimidating. So you know that once Big Mom gets those two going, it's bad news. Bad news. Now, I really like the dialogue, the exchange that they have. Big Mom asks Brooke, so wait a minute, you're telling me that you care more about getting that poneglyph than about getting your friend? And Brooke is like, no, that's not the case. However, I do know Sanji and I know how he works. So basically, if he set his mind on sacrificing himself for others, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. But I do know that my Sencho, Luffy, has the power to break walls and change people's minds and all that stuff. But whatever happens, it's between them two, not me. The only thing I can do right now is get the copy of this poneglyph so that at least, worst case scenario, if Sanji doesn't come back with us, we can at least tell him, you know what? We at least got that road poneglyph that will help Luffy become Pirate King in the end game. So this trip, it was worth it, Sanji. It was worth it. So I don't want you to feel guilty. That's a beastly ass friendship right there. Anyway, we go to Chopper and Carrot, and they find out they can talk to the mirrors to see what they're reflecting and what exit they can use to find Sanji, Luffy, and Nami. And they do this by talking or tickling Burley, which I thought was kind of convenient, but it's whatever at this point, man, because you know what? You can tell Oda just wants to get to the climax of this arc. It's not even trying to hide it anymore. So we got to move on. We have finally the revelation of what Pudding's devil fruit ability is. The USB fruit of the Memo no Mi. It turns out that she edits memories as if they were video clips. And she does that to Reiju so that she forgets what the hell happened in that room. And the fact that Reiju got shot with the candy-jacketed bullets, which now makes sense because, they're strong enough to pierce through like an iron body or whatever. Now, this power can go one or two ways. It can be used for therapeutic purposes in helping somebody forget really harsh, traumatic experiences, but I really don't think that's how it's going to be used in this arc. If anything, this fucking power is dangerous. It reminds me a little bit of like Sugar. How she was basically like touching people, and if you were touched, like people forgot about you. I mean, what's to stop Pudding from getting into, one of the Straw Hats' heads and just completely erasing the memory of those people in somebody's life? I don't know. It sounds crazy. Then again, she could also get in Big Mom's head and make her forget about the straw. I don't know. It's just, it can go one or two ways, and I'm more inclined to think that it's going to go the negative route rather than the positive therapeutic route. And this actually serves to confirm what I said about Reiju in that panel when we saw her walking through the castle hall, meaning that's not what's going to happen. That already happened. Because if you look at those pages with Pudding, she specifically says, well, first of all, Reiju is knocked out already. So there's no fucking way that she would be able to walk out of that room and just be like, so that can't happen. That already happened. And second of all, Pudding specifically says, take her to the infirmary. We go to the prisoner's library room, and I just noticed that the spine of one of those books says something about Azkaban. So, yeah, looks like Harry Potter. Sirius Black is in one of those books. No, but Luffy just doesn't care about his hands. He's about to rip them apart. He's tangled himself up. This really does remind me of that scene in Little Garden when Zoro is trapped in some wax and he's just ready to cut his feet off so that he can be able to fight. He just doesn't care. Opera's like, hey, Nami, I'm supposed to find out where Lola is, so please give me the goods, spill the beans, or I'm going to start shooting you with this harpoon. So, bad situation for Nami. And I said this, I totally called this in my last review, if you watch it again, or at least watch the ending of it. I said, get ready to see Jinbei come back, because we just found out what the roulette meant with Pedro and Tamago, which, by the way, were not in this chapter, but Jinbei shows up, and it's 5,000 tile Justice Fist. Now, is that like a reference to Akainu or something? Obviously, this is going to be super effective on Opera, just because, as we know, Fishman Karate uses the water in the body of the opponent to pack that's where you get most of the impact from, because Fishman can, Jinbei at least can manipulate water to some extent. So that's just gonna, I don't know if it's a KO, but it's gonna mess him up horribly. And now they're free to go. The one thing I will say is that it doesn't seem like Jinbei is missing anything. So that's kind of weird. Even Opera, the way that he talks to Jinbei, he basically tells him, hey, you're not supposed to be here or something like that. So I'm wondering, what are the terms in which Big Mom and Jinbei find themselves in right now? That's just something to think about. That's it for me. I thought it was a really good chapter, despite it being really sad from Sanji's perspective. But at least now he's more of like an action Sanji versus a hostage victim type Sanji. So I can't wait to see what he does next. I hope that Bonnie comes in this arc and they meet and they kind of like, you know, fall in love or something. I don't know, just because I think like Sanji deserves a win, not just in terms of a fight, but in terms of an emotional win. That's just me though. Like the review if you did, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting the channel the way that I know that you do. I appreciate it. I don't say that enough. And please have patience with me so that I can fix my laptop and just get back on track with the videos and stuff. Thank you so much. Bye.